Welcome back to the channel, my friends. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and today we're taking a look at some bloody stuff, but it's Warcry related. This video is sponsored by CMO Games. More on that later. There are lots of bloody things in the Age of Sigmar, but what is the bloodiest? How much blood could a blood reaver reave if a blood reaver could reave blood? Is one of the many questions that troubles permanent scholars in the mortal realms. For a start, how do you even reave blood? Khorne doesn't have a monopoly on things in this vein. There are plenty of bloody things all over the Age of Sigmar, giving rise to the question, who is the bloodiest? So we're going to take a look at the video. I do have the sound muted. So the top 5 bloodiest things in the mortal realms. Number 5, the Slaughtermaster's Apron. So this dude is an ogre that literally chops people up and feeds them to the rest of the ogres. That is pretty bloody. Next we have the Cauldron of Blood, number 4. It's got a giant pot full of blood and blood sacrifices galore. Very cool. Number 3, the Bloodrack Viper. It is literally a spell made of blood, so that's pretty bloody. Number 2, Blood for the Blood God, Technical Paint. It is literally blood, but it's paint. And number 1, we have some brand new models, Warcry BLOODHUNT. So let's go ahead and pause it right there. So this is what the video is obviously really all about. So we know the next iteration of Warcry is going to be called BLOODHUNT. And here we see the silhouette of the first 2 models in the game. Now, historically speaking, Games Workshop, when they preview one of these Warcry games, they will show us like one model from one warband, or maybe a couple models, but they're almost always from the same warband. Now, this is the first time when I'm honestly not sure if these models are from the same warband or not. And the reason I say that is because I think there's potential that this could be either of 2 warbands. Now, just looking at these models right here, the one on the left definitely looks Khorne to me. He's got chains with hooks on him. He's got multiple axes. He's got sort of like an icon behind his head. There appears to be some kind of like severed heads or skulls or something like that. So I would say there's a very high probability that that is a Khorne model. Now the one on the right here, I'm really not sure because we don't really see anything that openly like strikes me as being Khorne. The symbol on the back doesn't specifically look Khorne. The double blades don't specifically look Khorne. That's not really a type of thing that you typically see from Khorne models. The kind of like cloak dress thing could go either way. Honestly, it sort of has like more of like a slender kind of elfin look to it. We don't typically see that with your like regular go-to Khorne models. So that kind of opens my eyes to think, hey, maybe this is one model from each warband. So this presents some questions, obviously, and kind of makes me think maybe this time we're actually seeing one model from each warband. And I know what you're thinking. It's called BLOODHUNT and Khorne and blood. It has to be Khorne. Well, I'm not saying it's not. I just think I know who the other warband is. So let's finish up this article and then let's take a look at a couple of things that might point us in the right direction. That's a lot of blood, but they've missed something really juicy hidden at the beating heart of Ghur. Keep a bloodshot eye on the Warhammer community if the clarion call of skirmish combat gets your claret coursing. We've got something especially crimson coming up very soon. All right, so not a ton of information there, but obviously we can see the 2 models, and that's the most important thing. So that being said, we're going to flip over here to the Warcry Heart of Ghur season. So obviously we have already gotten Warcry Heart of Ghur. That was the starter box for the set. And then we have 3 expansions. The first was Sundered Fate. We saw that one already. The next is BLOODHUNT, and then Nightmare Quest after that. So BLOODHUNT obviously immediately makes you think of Khorne. You know, potentially, obviously, blood for the blood god, skulls for the throne of Khorne, all that good stuff. But there's somebody else that's really, really blood related that comes to mind as well. So let's take a look actually at the map. So this is the map that is in the Warcry Heart of Ghur set. It's in the Rot and Ruin book, and then it's also in the Ravenous Ruin book, which is called Stealth and Stone. I double checked the maps. With the exception of like the little picture in the bottom right corner and some other stuff that I kind of clipped out, the actual map itself is the same. So we saw in the Heart of Ghur starter set 2 new warbands. The first was the Rotmire Creed, and they kind of came from this area in like the kind of bog swamp area, and they are a Nurgle themed warband. and they did battle with the Horns of Hashut in the first box set against a Duradin themed warband, sort of like bull, cow worshippers, fire, all that good stuff. And we don't specifically see like an actual icon or anything for them on this map. And then in Sundered Fate, the expansion, we essentially see the Tzeentch cultists from this area, who are called the Jade Obelisk, and they're basically doing battle with the Hunters of Haunchi, which are essentially like defenders of the Talaxis, like the craft spaceship, which is somewhere in this kind of region around here. So we're kind of focused on this area right here. And now moving into the next expansion, Bloodhunt, we know obviously we are looking at potentially Khorne down here, the Blood Mad Ravage, and that is clearly the Khorne symbol there. And definitely kind of has the look of that first model. But then also, if we just look over here a little bit to the right, and here we see Count Moltaire's Bloodhunt right around that same territory. And the fact that Bloodhunt is specifically used in the name, and we know that kind of skull with wings is essentially the soulblight gravelords icon. And makes me kind of think that it's going to be some form of undead kind of warband led by vampires, or some kind of like vampire twist to it with the name Bloodhunt and, blood corresponding, etc. So I'm thinking there's definitely a possibility that we're going to see a soulblight gravelords warband and then also a Khornate warband as well. So I wonder if the model in the picture on the left is actually a Khornate model, and then the model on the right is actually a vampire or something along those lines. And now a quick message from this week's sponsor. This video is sponsored by CMOgames.com, where you can get 15% off most Games Workshop pre-orders, and they go live right at midnight Saturday mornings. CMOgames.com offers free shipping on orders over $25 in the US 48, and most orders ship within 24 hours. CMOgames.com has been selling Games Workshop products online for more than 20 years, and customer service is their top priority. CMOgames.com carries the full line of Games Workshop products, including 40K, Age of Sigmar, Kill Team, Warcry, paints, hobbies, and tools. Visit CMOgames.com using the affiliate link in the description below so they know you heard about CMOgames.com from Warhammer Man Studios. Now, back to the video. So I think there's a good possibility, and this is full-on speculation, but I think it's warranted, that we're probably going to see Blood Mad Ravage as a Khorne warband taking on Count Moltaire's Bloodhunt, which is essentially a Soulblight Gravelords vampire-led warband. So obviously none of this is for sure, it's complete speculation, but I think there's a good possibility this is what we're going to see, and I think that would be really cool. And honestly, we have seen so far the Nurgle warband, the Tzeentch warband, so you naturally would think that we're going to see Khorne and Slaanesh as the next couple warbands, and we know also that they have books coming for Sigmar in the near future as well. So it seems like there's definitely a possibility that it could be something Slaanesh-y, but there's a possibility that's going to come in the next box set, and then actually this one's going to be Khorne versus Flesh Eater Courts. So this is full speculation. Not sure if other people have kind of checked out this map or read through all the books and the lore and everything like that, but I think there's a good possibility that that's actually what we're going to see. So that is my speculation for the upcoming box set. I really hope that the terrain is different. I love the Heart of Ghur, like Gnarlwood terrain and everything. But the fact that they reused so much of it in the second box set and just kind of did like expansion sprues and stuff, it's still super cool. And I love the terrain and everything, but I'm not sure that I want like 1 or 2 more boxes of this stuff. Not because it's not cool. I just want to see some different kind of things. I really want to see some ruin themed terrain, basically like remnants of Talaxis or something along those lines, so that we can have a little bit something different. I still want to see obviously like the Ghur trees and everything integrated in it, but I want to see a little more like actual like stonework and stuff like that. Maybe some kind of cool like statues or whatever that we see in the pictures here. We've obviously seen that one picture of Talaxis, which is very cool. I would love to see some kind of like stone temple kind of ruin stuff there, that's essentially like us coming into Talaxis, and then the final battle is kind of inside or in the ruins of it. So the next couple sets basically have some completely different terrain, but still kind of with that twist. And the last of the expansions is called Nightmare Quest. So that kind of leaves it open to a lot of stuff. Obviously anything could be Nightmare, but it does make me think potentially of Night Haunt. And then we already kind of talked about how it seems like Slaanesh would be the next box set as well, because that would give us basically all of the 4 Chaos Gods incorporated in these box sets. And it is kind of cool zooming out here and seeing the full breakdown of the land. So we obviously see Thondi up here in the right. We have the Gnarlwood right here. And then we have Gallet right down below it. So very cool how they're developing the world and everything and kind of moving through it. I do like how there is themes corresponding between Warcry and Sigmar as well. Very cool, honestly. So that's my speculation as to what's to come. Could be wrong about this, obviously. We know that these are major quarterly expansions. So now that we're into the first quarter, seems like one of these is probably right around the corner. We did kind of have some correspondence between Kill Team and Warcry, but they pushed out that Kill Team box set so quickly, it's hard to even tell what the timing is now. I think Warcry is much more on schedule for where it should be, and Kill Team just had some weird debacle that we don't talk about. So I'm expecting Bloodhunt in the next couple weeks or potentially months. I think we're probably right around the corner from it. Super excited, definitely looking forward to it. I really hope that they don't disappoint on the terrain. I absolutely love the terrain in the Heart of Ghur stuff, but we really need something different. Reusing a bunch of scatter terrain and some of the other bigger pieces and just kind of putting add-ons was cool, and it kind of bought them some time and, you know, made it work for a second box. But we really need to see a bunch of new stuff. I want to see some stone temple, you know, maybe even like lizardman statue kind of theme stuff as we get a little closer to Taraxis and, you know, the completion of this. So this will be the third box set out of 4 and basically marks like the halfway point for the season. So let me know what you guys think. Do you think my speculations are spot on? Am I completely wrong? Did I miss something else? I've been reading through the books and everything. I really enjoy Warcry and the lore and everything going along with it. And I'm definitely looking forward to what's to come. So let me know what you think down below. Let me know what you think the next couple warbands are going to be, or if there's any flaws in my reasoning. Special thanks to CMO Games for sponsoring this video. Check them out to save 15% on Games Workshop products. That's it for today. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and I like to speculate. And I'm out of here.